Hello, third graders, and welcome to Mexico. We are traveling south of the United States border to the country of Mexico this week. Today, we're going to talk about the land, the water, and the climate. So make sure you have your reading packet. You've opened it up to the section on Mexico and have a pencil or a highlighter nearby so you can underline important key details. At the end, we're going to go ahead and dive into, let me actually get back to where we need to be, dive into those questions, those true and false questions. And so let's take a moment and look at them. The questions you will answer are: Mexico is larger than the United States. The Altiplano Central is a large mountain in the center of Mexico. Most of the rivers in Mexico are not very long and carry very little water. Mexico has several active volcanoes. So we're going to be listening for the size, the Altiplano Central, rivers, and volcanoes. Let's go ahead and get started. The official name of Mexico is the United Mexican States. In Spanish, it is called Estados Unidos Mexicanos. Mexico is about 1/5 the size of the United States, which means it is smaller than the United States. And you might want to underline that or note it. Mexico is bordered by 3 countries and 4 bodies of water. The United States is north of Mexico, and the countries of Belize and Guatemala are to the south, down here. The Pacific Ocean and the Gulf of California, right here, are to the west of Mexico. And the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean Sea are to the east. So we have United States. Down here in Central America, we have Belize and Guatemala. Pacific Ocean, Gulf of California, Gulf of Mexico, and the Caribbean Sea. Mexico has many different kinds of landforms. It has high snow-capped mountains, active volcanoes, coastal lowlands with sandy beaches, tropical rainforests, and hot deserts. To me, it kind of reminds me of the west region of the United States. The Sonoran Desert and the Chihuahuan Desert make up a large part of the land in the northern part of Mexico, coming down from the United States into it. The Chihuahuan Desert is the largest desert in North America. It is approximately 800 miles long and 250 miles wide, bigger than the state of California. The Sonoran Desert is the wettest and warmest desert in North America. It gets more rain than any other desert. So many different kinds of trees, cacti, and shrubs find enough water to grow there. Northern Mexico has coastal plains on the east and west coasts. The lowlands of the coastal plains are called the Tierra Caliente, meaning hot lands. And before we move on, take a moment and look at this map. It shows how Mexico is divided into 31 states and 1 federal district. Its capital is Mexico City. So just like the United States, Mexico is divided into states. The biggest landform in Mexico is a large plateau, the Altiplano Central, in the center of the northern Mexico. It's a plateau, boys and girls. The plateau is shaped roughly like an upside-down triangle, with its base along the U.S. border and its tip extending south to the area around Mexico City. So it starts up here and then it goes down into Mexico City. So kind of between these tan areas is where the Altiplano Plateau is. The Altiplano Central is mostly rolling hills and broad valleys and includes some of the best farm and ranch land in the country. Several of Mexico's biggest cities, including Mexico City and Guadalajara, are located in the southern part of the Altiplano Central. The lands of the Altiplano Central are known as the Tierra Templada, or temperate lands. And that means they stay pretty much the same temperature all year long. There are mountain ranges on 3 sides of the Altiplano Central. The Sierra Madre Oriental Mountains are between the Altiplano Central and the Eastern Coastal Plain. So those are right here. Between the Altiplano and the East Coast are the Sierra Madre Oriental Mountains. Another mountain range, the Sierra Madre Occidental Mountains, runs between the Altiplano Central and the Western Coastal Plain, and those are over here. These mountain highlands are also called the Tierra Fria, or cold land. So those two are cold. Down here is the Sierra Madre del Sur Mountains. South of the Altiplano Central, the Sierra Madre del Sur mountain range runs east and west across the country. This range includes several active volcanoes, hint, including Popocatépetl and Volcán de Fuego de Coloma. The Sierra Madre del Sur range also has Mexico's highest mountain, Pico de Orzba. Pico de Orzba is 18,700 feet high. And here is a picture of Popocatépetl in the second highest peak in Mexico. There it is. It's above Mexico City. There are also 2 peninsulas in Mexico. Remember, peninsulas are land that's surrounded on 3 sides by water. In northwest is the Baja California Peninsula. Baja California is the world's longest peninsula. It is 800 miles long. The Baja California Peninsula is mostly covered with the Chihuahuan Desert. To the east, protruding into the Caribbean Sea, like the end of a fishhook, is the Yucatan Peninsula. The Yucatan is covered with rainforests and white sandy beaches. The Yucatan Peninsula is especially notable for its ancient Maya temples. And I'm going to go ahead and go back here so you can see where we're talking about. So on this side is the Baja California Peninsula. And over here is the Yucatan Peninsula coming out into the Gulf of Mexico. Between the Yucatan Peninsula and the Sierra Madre del Sur Mountains is the Isthmus of Tehuantepec. An isthmus is a narrow piece of land connecting 2 larger lands. The isthmus is the narrowest part of Mexico, and it's covered with tropical rainforests. And that's right here is this little area of land connecting these 2. This is the isthmus that's full of tropical rainforests. Mexico has nearly 150 rivers, but most of the rivers are short, shallow, and carry very little water. There's your hint. Only small fishing boats can travel on them. Although they are not good for travel, the rivers in Mexico are important for irrigation, which means watering crops, and producing hydroelectric power. The Rio Bravo del Norte is Mexico's longest river. The Rio Bravo del Norte is called the Rio Grande in the United States. Remember, Rio Grande is where the Texas and Mexico border is made. The Rio Grande is 1,885 miles long and forms much of the border with the United States. There are 46 places where people can cross the United States and Mexico border. And here's a picture of some of them. The city of Matamoros, shown in the top of the picture here, is located on the southern bank of the Rio Grande, while the city of Brownsville, Texas, is directly across the river on the northern side. Matamoros and Brownsville are connected by 3 international bridges. So here is the sounds, and they're connected by these bridges that you can cross over to get between Mexico and the United States. All right, let's go ahead and move into the climate. What is the weather like in Mexico? When we're finished today, you will answer these 3 true or false questions. Most of Mexico's population lives in northern Mexico. Mexico gets most of its rain from May through September. The Mexican people have to watch out for hurricanes, earthquakes, and volcanic eruptions. Mexico's climate varies according to its landforms. Sounds kind of like the West. It is hot and rainy along the coastal plains on both sides of the country, but inland at higher elevations, the climate is much drier and more temperate. Temperate means the weather is not too hot or not too cold. Most of Mexico's population lives in this temperate area in southern Mexico. Southern Mexico is warm the year round. In southern Mexico, the average summer temperature is 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and the average winter temperature is 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Northern Mexico is much chillier in the winter, with temperatures sometimes approaching freezing. There was your hint about where most Mexico's population lives. In May through September, or even sometimes October, most of Mexico gets lots of rain. During the rest of the year, there is little or no rain. The coastal areas receive more rainfall than inland areas. There's your hint about the rain. People in Mexico have to watch out for hurricanes, earthquakes, and volcanic eruptions. There's your answer. In central and southern Mexico, active volcanoes dot the landscape. Hurricanes can bring high winds and heavy rain. They can cause extensive damage. Hurricane season lasts from June to mid-November, and destructive hurricanes are a fact of life for many Mexicans. All right, next time I see you, we'll be talking about the products and natural resources of Mexico.